Welcome back to Writing Happy Hour, the show where I track down my favorite authors and convince them to kick back, relax, and talk about the books we love. There will be drinking, there will be swearing, and there might even be the occasional deep conversation. But probably not tonight. It'll mostly be dick jokes for this episode. This week's guest is one of the first writers to publish in the LitRPG genre. He's got a hard-earned reputation for dark humor that is irreverent, disgusting, and offensive in the best possible way. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, grab a beer and pull up a seat. The night is young and I have a lot of questions. Let's talk about what it was like to write something that no one else had seen before. Will we ever get to see our favorite characters on the big screen? There's only one man who can tell us. So please give a warm welcome to Robert Bevin. All right, well, welcome to Writing Happy Hour, where we track down our favorite authors, ply them with alcohol, and then ask them questions. Today's victim is the esteemed Robert Bevin. He is responsible for the Critical Failure series and also the Shingles series, and I have been a fan for the better part of a decade, so this is super exciting for me. Thank you so much for being here.
I haven't been writing for a decade.
You definitely have.
No, I put out Critical Failures, I think, in June of 2012.
Okay, I picked up Critical Failures in 2014 was when I saw it. It's almost been a decade, dude.
Yeah.
2021.
Almost.
I said the better part of a decade.
Did you?
I did.
All right.
The better part of a decade.
Now I'm a dick.
That's all right. You make a living out of dick jokes, so that's kind of a point of pride for you. You also play Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of other authors on the Authors and Dragons podcast, which is pretty fucking rad. And we're gonna have to link that in the description because if people haven't watched that, they need to. Anyway, I had actually never heard of LitRPG before when I came across Critical Failures. It's grown significantly since you started writing.
Well, I hadn't heard of it either, and I'm not sure that the term had even been coined yet. And back then, I hadn't heard of it until I might have been on book 5 or 6 by that point.
Nice. Without giving too many spoilers, can you tell us a little bit about Critical Failures?
I'd be spoiling the end of chapter 2 of the first book. That doesn't count as a spoiler, but it's about a group of 30-something losers that are playing not D&D. They're playing Caverns and Creatures. RPG. Yeah, and they piss off their new game master, and he sends them into the world with some magic dice in the bodies of their characters.
And I have to say, the specific characters that you decided to send are so classic tabletop RPG guys. Like, you have a perfect cast of characters going into this world, and it's designed with impeccable comedic timing.
Thank you.
I'm going to start drinking because I just got a tidal wave of nerves. Oh, I've got my Caverns and Creatures flask. Which
you're one of 5 people that have bought that.
This is one of my prized possessions. My nephew, who's going to be one of the first people to watch this video, is going to get it when I die. So
got one here too.
Sure, yeah, dude. But I keep it. Actually, this is my desk flask. So, all right. We have to drink to Cooper because he is my favorite character, especially in book 1. He's the one that drew me into the series. So. Drink to that guy. Oh Lord, I'm gonna get so much drunker than you. This is terrible.
I'll work to catch up. I've been busy
parenting.
Yeah, I've been single parenting. My wife went to Korea to visit her family. About we're getting close to 4 weeks in, and I'm hanging in there.
You guys surviving on raw cookie dough and
no, actually I've been cooking more than I thought. I mean I knew I was going to make an effort, but I didn't think I'd make as much effort as I have.
You've turned it to Gordon Ramsay.
we,
Love the
we've
fuck
we've
words
had
coming out of the kitchen, but the food tastes delicious, so that works.
we ordered pizza for the third time tonight. Not well, the third
Not
time
too
over the
bad in
course.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Very nice. What is your process for how you create your characters? I am just curious. Did you model these after people that you know?
Yes and no, kind of roughly.
Or like different
Kind
sides
of
of you?
Julian kind of was, and then I when people ask me this question, I always say that Cooper and Tim are like the worst parts of me.
Or the best parts if you know, depending on how you spin it. Well, I mean,
Yeah, well,
I don't know you in real life, so there's probably better sides of you than Cooper and Tim. But Cooper sure is fucking entertaining.
thank you.
When you released the first book, I've seen you climb the list of the top 100 on several different categories. What was that like, seeing your name next to authors like Stephen King and other
I
big
don't.
ones like that?
I've probably been next to Stephen. I don't remember any instances of being next to Stephen King because we don't go in the
Dark
travel
comedy.
in the same genres. Dark comedy is that a?
I saw you guys
All right, yeah.
next to each other in dark comedy one time. It was a long time ago.
It's weird though. I originally put my book on the Amazon category of comedy because it's a comedy, but this that category wasn't meant to be comedy books. It's like books about comedians. So I spent a long time next to Bob Saget,
Oh,
and I had this like for a while there I had this fake rivalry going on where I just post shit post Bob Saget on Facebook and like he didn't know.
he's never noticed. He'll find
No.
out later.
Uh,
Did you have any like significant moments where you were like, holy shit?
my big one.
Seeing your.
All right, I should have prepared better. I have this picture somewhere.
I
Actually,
can
when
actually
you
wait.
post this, when you post this later, you can. I got a screenshot saved somewhere, but just like a perfect storm of events coming together just right. My Critical Failures 1 audiobook was number one right in front of Game of Thrones.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that was an hour, and I sank right back down. But yeah, for a brief moment.
What is in Robert Bevan's bookshelf? What are your favorite books? Do like the top 3 or the top 5, however.
All right, I am not as big a reader as I should be for being a writer, but I got some. What made me want to do this for a living is was Douglas Adams and his Hitchhiker series. Those are the big ones. Other runners up. I don't want to lean too British, but what's his name? Jasper Ford. He writes the Thursday Next series, which I haven't read, and that's his like main thing. But like I said, it's full of literary references that I don't want to read because I'll feel stupid because I don't get them. So, but he's got this other series, the Nursery Crimes, which I adore. As far as I know, there's still only 2 books in it: the Fourth Bear and The Big Over Easy, about the murder mystery of who killed Humpty Dumpty.
Are you going to be writing any murder mysteries in the near future? I was curious.
I started something a while back called Hard Boiled Dick, and I like the title, and I like the cover concept I came up with, and I liked kind of how the character of the story was going. It's like we'll talk about Shingles later, I'm sure, but it's like if Shingles was a murder mystery instead of
It's
fake
like
children's book.
Dick Tracy meets Adult Swim.
Right. It's just a bumbling racist detective, like private detective, and fucking up his way to eventual nothing yet. I don't know. I haven't ended it. But
Well,
I
I
was
think
thinking, I don't know if you know about this Vela, what have you, that's coming up. But it might be fun for a short serialized thing.
definitely. I was actually gonna bring that up because I think that would be an ideal fit for your little short.
Yeah, there's so much stuff I want to do, but I've got to keep doing what's bringing in the bucks,
For sure.
and that's pretty much only critical failures.
Well, let's cheers to paying our bills with writing words.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like conjuring money out of air when you think about it. Although I would much rather be conjuring money out of the kind of stuff that you write than the kind of stuff I write. I write stuff that's not nearly as fun and definitely doesn't get as many laughs.
Well, you're a ghostwriter primarily, correct?
Yep, I write the smutty smut.
Oh, I didn't know you were like, I knew you were a ghostwriter. I didn't know you were like locked into a genre or.
I'm not. It's just that contemporary romance is what makes the money. Like that's the one
right.
they can just like they can continuously churn out like the same story just reskinned over and over and over. And
intriguing.
Yeah, it's pretty it's exhausting after a while. It kind of feels like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Speaking of romance, do your fans ever come at you with any crazy ships for your series? That's what they call it when the kids pair up characters in the series that don't actually end up getting together necessarily.
Oh, I thought you meant like spaceships or something.
No, ships like, for example, I used to want Kat and Cooper to get together at the beginning of the series.
Relationships.
Yes.
I'm old.
That's okay.
I've never heard this term before.
I only know it because I have a 14-year-old.
I do too. Cat and Cooper, interesting. I'll give that some thought. I've got plenty of room left to work with. I'm intending to bring this series to 20 books eventually. I've got a plan for the end, but there can be a lot of comings and goings.
Ups and downs.
I'm writing. I'm getting close to the end of book 9 right now. I haven't really delved too far into ships. The only one that's really done anything is the Julie and Stacy thing, and then and Stacy Tim, if you count that. That was never a ship, but that was
it was like a romantic interest. Definitely
catalyst. That's it. Huh? A catalyst for Tim's like complete downward spiral.
It's always a girl. Bitches, man. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Do fans ever try to pair up different characters? And like suggest?
I guess you're probably not the first, but I can't think of another instance where that happened.
Huh. Interesting. That surprises me. But maybe it's just
probably happened.
Do you have like more of a male readership, or are there a lot of female readers in your
I don't know. I thought it was about half and half, which surprised me. I always thought it would. I assumed it would lean male. When I'm interacting with people on Facebook or whatever, it just seems like there's just as many females as males. But then I actually looked at some data. I don't remember where it came from, and it was like really heavily leaning male. So.
Well, your colorful brand of humor does attract all kinds of attention, and there's a wide readership that celebrates it, and there are some people that find it crude and offensive. It seems like those
it's absolutely crude and offensive.
Well, it seems like those people take the exact opposite message that you're trying to get across, away from what you're doing. What are some instances of people getting riled up on the internet over your work, and what was your response?
I've come up with a few fun clapbacks. I don't necessarily want to be a dick to people, and I don't want to like get in internet arguments or anything, but I will if I've got something like funny. 99 times out of 100 I ignore it, or I don't even see it. the other guys, like, especially Drew on Authors and Dragons, he notes that I get away with things because I've built a brand around it. So
It,
that feels good.
it definitely gets the lulls from the people who can appreciate it.
You know, people say like, oh, this such and such couldn't be made today, and I could.
Well, cheers to the haters because they help make you famous.
Famous is a strong word.
Internet famous? Internet famous is a thing.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I count.
You don't know if you count yourself as internet famous?
Yeah,
Shit, dude, everybody that reads LitRPG has read your shit.
that's certainly not true
Is that
because
not?
well, I know it because there are way more successful lit RPG authors out there, and like if a fraction of those people also read my book, then I'd be
I guess it's probably just
doing a lot
because
better.
maybe I have like a warped viewpoint because you were the first lit RPG
Well, there you
author
go.
that I
Yeah.
read. And so for me, you got in on the ground level, and all these other people are just building on top of your shit. I think when I first saw something that was remotely similar, it was just something else that was in the lit RPG genre. I think I Facebooked you before we had even talked, and I was like, "This guy's ripping off your stuff," and you were like, "No." A lot of people are writing this stuff now.
Well, I think the reason I'm not as popular as some is because I'm not doing video game lit RPG. I stubbornly
Just the
stick
tabletops.
to the tabletop.
I do like some of the game lit or the video game lit RPG stuff too. I like to watch the stats go up.
Yeah, that's also something I don't do a lot of. I started out, the guys would look at their character sheets every now and again. You'd see some stats. Now I've kind of abandoned character sheets altogether. Like they
They
exist
check on
in
them
the
to see
world.
if each other are alive when they're kidnapped, right?
Well, that happened once, and but yeah, and that's a case where, all right, we're using the character sheet as a plot device, not just something to, you know, list and update stats or whatever. Nowadays, I like to just, make it blend in a little bit more with they'll learn they can use a new ability or something that they couldn't before. Oh, I must have leveled up. You know, I don't like to put like just a spreadsheet of statistics in my fiction.
That's understandable. I don't know why I enjoy it.
How does that work?
Up.
How does that work with audiobooks?
On the audiobook, they'll just say like agility, plus whatever, and show it. It'll say the name of the stat and then the number, and it'll list them
So
off.
they just do read
They
statistics.
read it.
Okay.
Yeah, they just read the stats off, and sometimes it'll make like a little ding noise when something goes up. You'll hear like the ding when they level, and it's a satisfying sound.
Yeah, because I can kind of understand it in a book where you're like, hey, I'm not reading all that shit, skip. But in an audiobook, you just gotta sit there and
absorb
listen
it.
to them read statistics.
It's very soothing.
Okay.
So what can you tell us about Shingles? What is your pitch? I will be honest, I haven't actually finished a Shingles book yet because
Have you started one?
I have started one multiple times, The Ghost of Hooker Alley, and I always end up like getting distracted and reading something else before I get into it too far.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I know. And you're one of my favorite authors, but I have yet to finish a Shingles book. It's on my list. It's on my list. But pitch.
I just it's rather than pitch it, I'll tell you the story of how it was begotten.
There we go.
The Authors and Dragons guys were chatting on our little chat thing, and I think Drew wondered aloud, I wonder if the Goosebumps model would work nowadays. Like just a short 20-page story, put it like pounded out month after month, and I got the idea. I was, all right, what if we take it a step further, like actual like Goosebumps parody, like ostensibly children's books, but like way fucked up, absolutely not for children. Like, and you have to like make it obvious, like by calling it the Ghost of Hooker Alley, but it still kind of looks like Goosebumps. and and so I said, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. And the other guys loved it, so they said, all right, yeah, we'll commit to doing this. You know, between six of us, surely we can all do. You know, we can put out enough 20,000 word stories month after month. Um, yeah, it's in the beginning, everybody except Joe was contributing. Now it's I don't know, it's getting more and more of me because nobody reads Shingles.
Oh.
Well, that's all right. It's all right. I I still think I still think it's going to catch on, and when it does, I'll have this fucking backlog of me, and,
This
and
just
I
this
will be the
giant
king of
giant
Shingles.
repertoire. Oh my god. Well, I think that the thing that throws people off is that there are kids and the kids are the main characters and there's just this super fucked up stuff going on, and
Well,
especially
that's another thing. I'm my vision for Shingles was that these are, you know, just like Goosebumps from the points of view of children, and they walk obliviously through this world. They walk through this world with their problems, oblivious to all the fucked up shit going on around them. They're constantly almost getting molested, but they've got this innocence about them that they like for the readers. Whoa, that's
yeah, for the adults it's
yeah,
uncomfortable. The kids are fine. The kids come
yeah,
out
yeah.
unscathed. Oh man. Like I'm trying to like wrap my head around it the same way I love have you seen Good Boys? I think that's what it's called. About the three kids that are trying to they're trying to get his dad's drone back because they were spying on the neighbor or something.
No,
Oh my god. It's super fucked up. They think they come across their dad's CPR dummy, which is not a CPR dummy,
yeah, all
and they
right.
decide to sell it to a pervert on the internet to try and get this drone back. And it's a bunch of very adult themed shit with three little boys as the main characters, and it's so wholesome but also not at the same time. And so I'm trying to like approach Shingles with that kind of idea going into it. But I mean,
Caveat: the last Shingles I wrote, Whiz Kid, is not as innocent. It's
oh no,
just yeah. I
somebody get molested.
kind of
Tell me now.
kind of oh no, no, I don't think so. Um, I bent a little bit of the rules, my own unspoken rules, and
Well, that's what you kind
oh
of have to do after you've had so many books, right? You have to start raising the stakes and doing things
no,
that people don't
no,
expect.
I didn't have to do any of that. But just this story is that's where it went. It Steve told me I should do a Harry Potter parody, and yeah, I went for it.
Oh boy. Well, goddamn. Well, here's cheers to doing what you love, even if it doesn't always sell. Because got to give you respect for that.
Oh, but I forgot. I brought this all up anyway because they're not all necessarily about children or from children's point of view. Those are mine specifically. The other guys they kind of view Shingles as just like a place for story ideas they have that don't fit anywhere else.
This is their idea dump.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, like Emily's 28 Dicks Later, I read the blurb for that one and I was like, oh my word. Like yep, I get it. So you play Klaus Richter in the Authors and Dragons podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that character?
Klaus Richter is kind of a, well, yeah,
I noticed that like
a self-styled notorious rogue, but mostly just a bumbling drunk.
I haven't seen or listened to every episode of Authors and Dragons.
Yeah, this is becoming a thing with you.
Just you. I haven't actually seen him do anything super pervy, but everyone's always expecting him to do something super pervy. So I feel like I have to go back through the archives and find out where this came from.
No, yeah, I mean, he pulls his dong out a lot and pees on things, and occasionally
That's not so bad.
masturbates on. Like, but no, look, he did. I don't remember him actually doing anything to another person.
Okay, so
he's just kind of gross.
okay.
I
was really sad when you weren't able to burrow into the robot scarecrow. I feel like a nat 20 definitely should have gotten you more than halfway in there.
Well, the that next week though, I was nailing it.
Out of all the characters that you've written, which one would you trust to babysit your kids?
Oh. Maybe.
We already established that your writing is super wholesome, so I'm sure there's something in there.
That's a tough one, I guess. Maybe
probably Stacy or Kat, I think. Maybe Stacy.
Maybe Stacy. I was thinking what's his name? Captain Righteous.
Oh, he would be an adorable babysitter. He would make sure they get to bed on time.
He wouldn't be fun, but yeah, my kids would be alive when I got back home.
What's on your writing playlist? Do you listen to music while you write, or do you
not at all.
Earplugs in and get in the zone?
Yeah, I'm easily distracted, so I try not to be. Yeah, sorry, nothing's on the playlist.
That's okay. How has your creative process changed since you wrote the first Critical Failures book?
I don't know. It must have changed because I belted that one out in a couple of months, and then nowadays it's taking me, up to a year to put out a new book.
You belted out your first Critical Failures book in a couple of months?
Yeah.
Oh shit! How did that?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you go back and explain that story? How did you come up with the first Critical Failures book? And I know that you're a dirty pantser, so I already know you didn't outline anything.
I'm not a dirty pantser yet. I wipe. Yeah, so I was living in South Korea at the time as an English teacher. I had gotten married, just gotten married, and I was teaching English at Gimpo College, way up in the northwest corner of Korea, and it's pretty well out in the sticks. And we had an apartment above my office on campus, and I was just getting into World of Warcraft. So yeah, that's kind of an addictive game, especially when you're just starting out. And so when school was out, there was nothing going on out there, so it was just me and my wife alone in our apartment, and I would sometimes step down to my office to play some WoW. And she'd be alone out in the fucking in the middle of nowhere, bored out of her mind. And so it came down to, all right, you can stay married or you can stay with World of Warcraft. So I chose to stay married. I quit World of Warcraft, but so that I didn't always just play to neglect her. I'd also play in my office hours between classes.
Oh shit.
And now that I had canceled my subscription, I had these giant chunks of time between classes, especially now at this point, like this is like a little while later, we had moved to a different apartment in like Gimpo proper. And so between classes, I couldn't go home and come back because it was too far a commute. So I'd have like these chunks of time between classes and no World of Warcraft subscription. So I wanted to fill that with something productive. So I started writing. I I spent like 3 years writing this other story that never saw the light of day because it's just rambling, and it's a first novel. I'm not a writer. I'm just a guy writing shit, and but I did get to the I was around the last one or last chapter or so, and I got the idea for critical failures, but I did force myself to finish that first one, even though I knew it wasn't going to do anything, just to prove to myself, oh, you can write a book. And so yeah, after 3 years writing that crap, I thought, oh, this one's going to be fun. I got a vision for this, and I don't know. So I was like super enthused. So I belted it out. Yeah, 3 months later, I had a rough draft. So I thought, all right, so yeah, there's got to be a market for this. People are interested in this sort of thing. So I got online and I started looking into self-publishing and all that, whatever you got to do. And then and I met some people on forums and stuff, and I met the woman who is currently still my editor. And the first thing she told me was, because when I wrote Critical Failures, I was trying to write like Douglas Adams, because this is my inspiration. And I was doing like third person omniscient, and the first thing she told me is, you don't know how to write third person omniscient. And so this would be a much better story, third person limited. So I hemmed and hawed for a little while, but eventually I decided, all right, you're right, and I went back and rewrote the whole thing.
Man, that would be an undertaking. Like, I've done that before, and I ended up just like scrapping my stuff because rewrites are more difficult than writing the book in the first place.
Yeah, but
you did it, and look what happened. Holy crap, man. I can't believe you whipped out a first draft in 2 months for the first
I think it was 3
months still, though. And now you like release one book a year now?
I aim to. I mean, that's the thing. Another reason I'm falling behind the other LitRPG successes. Those dudes like put some shit out.
They probably use ghostwriters. No, that's probably not true. Not all of them, anyway.
Oh,
we didn't say any names.
Shots fired.
We don't know. No, there are a lot of really great LitRPG authors out there. Just they're just not Robert Bevin. That's okay though. We can't all be Robert Bevin. So, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite author?
Well, I brought up Douglas Adams already.
That's right, you did. I forgot. Well, then let's.
There's me.
You're your own favorite.
Well, I write the shit I want to read. That's
True. That's what you're supposed to do. So let's cheers to Robert Bevin. I've drank. I have drank to you more than once. That used to be like our thing at D&D night. To Robert Bevin.
Wow.
Yeah. There's nerds all across the country drinking toasts to you for Dungeons and Dragons nights.
I got recognized once.
Oh, really? Like in public?
It's the damnedest thing. It was 2019. We decided to take a family trip up to New York City for Christmas. The kids and wife never been there before. All right, let's go. And so we're driving up there, and we pull into a rest area just to go to the bathroom, stretch our legs and whatnot.
It's a terrible place for someone to know.
Well, Yeah, this guy pulls up when I'm just outside taking a little walk. He said, "Are you Robert Bevin?" How the hell am I this look, and it only ever happened once. I won't say I'm this recognizable, but that's just
We don't
that
show
was
your face
bizarre.
online all that often.
No, and my profile picture is from probably like 20 years ago.
You need a new one. You need to update all
Yeah,
your social media profile pictures. That way people
I'm I'm
recognize
I'm,
you.
I'm gonna wait until I'm as good looking as I was 20 years ago again.
I don't think that's how that works, but that's crazy. I'd be horrified if somebody knew my name at a rest area. My dad used to be a trucker, and generally just people talking to you at rest areas is a scary experience.
That happened to me. Well, not really, but yeah, I was driving. I was in the middle of the night in Mississippi, and I had to stop for gas. And I was like at this gas station in the middle of nowhere, and I'm filling up my tank, and I hear, "Hey, Bob." Whoa. And I turn around, just this guy talking on the phone to somebody else named Bob.
Oh shit. Well, that's not too bad. That was just scary for a
Well, that was the scary one though.
What about Authors and Dragons Con? Is it weird seeing a
uh,
bunch of people that read your stuff?
yeah, that was mind blowing. Yeah, because I've been to conventions before, and yeah, I have a couple of people come up to the table and say, "Oh, I read your stuff. Can you sign my book?" But they're not there for me.
No? Who are they there for?
I don't know the bigger names at the convention, but I'm saying other conventions,
Okay.
like Authors and Dragons Con was like I'm one of 6 of the star
Right.
attractions.
People know you.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm still like, stunned that we pulled this together.
Oh man. I think this is gonna be a big one because everybody's been so cooped up. So people that are
I was hoping that would be the case, but I think our ticket sales so far are like on par with the first one we did.
oh shit. Well,
Yes, I mean,
I guess we'll
yeah.
see.
All right, it's a balance, People are excited to get back out there, but also it's not 100% safe yet. It's we're gonna take all the precautions we're supposed to take, but people are
And
understandably cautious.
yeah, there's by then a lot of people will be vaccinated by then, hopefully.
I will. I got my second shot coming on the 18th.
That's the one that'll kick you in the butt. I actually just got the Johnson and Johnson one. I just took the one shot, one and done. Because
Well, that's the one that's supposed to kick you in the butt. But
oh, I mean,
if you got through it, then I
it
guess
sucked. It
good.
sucked for a couple days, but honestly, the shot itself is the most stressful part for me because I have like a legit phobia of syringes. I'm not afraid of getting tattooed or pierced, but man, come at me with a syringe and I get real fucking nervous. And I know within about 30 seconds of getting the shot if I'm going to pass out or not. And it's usually about, I don't know, one in 4 chance.
I don't like shots either, but this I guess they're like with the no touch policy, they've got it was weird. Like I'm used to like entering slowly and pushing down the plunger, but this was like a stab.
Oh.
And somehow that I was more comfortable with that.
I think I think it wouldn't hurt as much if I was not shaking while I was getting stabbed.
Oh yeah.
But you can't just be like, well, stop shaking to somebody who has like a nervous problem about, clowns or birds or whatever the fuck it is that you're afraid of. You don't really have control of that. What?
Yeah, I remember that happened to my daughter once. She was so scared of the needle and like she like tensed up her muscles, which is like the worst thing you can do because it hurt like a bitch because they were tearing through more muscle tissue.
Yep, man. Yeah, and it's mind over matter, but sometimes it's really hard to overcome a fear like that. And it's not like I've had a trauma or anything, associated with getting shots. It's just completely irrational. So
this clown injected me with heroin while he was molesting me. Wow.
That would do it. No, I don't have an excuse like that. That would be a good excuse, though. If you could offer, if you could
He
offer,
ruined heroin for me.
okay, I gotta get my shit together. Okay, if you could offer a piece of advice to fledgling writers out there, what would it be?
Do it. Don't do it for the money at first. If it makes you money and you're still having fun doing it, figure out what's working. I'm still working on that. But yeah, you can make a career out of this. I think I won't say anyone can. There's a lot of it's not everybody's gift. It's not everybody's thing. Not
It's not
everybody's
just
gonna want to
writing
do it.
either.
Yeah.
There's a lot more involved with making and living as an author than just writing the book.
Absolutely, yeah.
The editing process is a whole different thing. The marketing process is a whole different thing.
Yeah, and I don't enjoy the editing, but I enjoy the marketing when it works. When I figure something out and like, ooh, that's like
Out of pocket.
that's like my video games now because I don't have time to play real video games. It's like
Make the numbers go
checking
up.
the score. Yeah.
That's rad. All right. Well, cheers to just do it.
Well, yeah, do it. And I don't know. Did I have more advice?
You said do it, not for the money at first.
At first, right.
So
but you can't. If I think anyone who's got a little talent for writing, like the seed of talent, can develop it. And if once you do that, you can make a living out of it if you're willing to put in the work to learn all the aspects, like you said, all the aspects of making it a career, the editing, the marketing, the what have you. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Skill and talent. You gotta have both. If you could just take a minute to tell us what you've got going on, what you've got in the works, and where we can find your stuff for the people who are watching, that would be awesome.
All right. I'm currently working on I'm working on two things right now because those other slackers have abandoned Shingles for now. I'm working on Critical Failures 9, No Holds Barred, BARD, and I'm getting kind of close to the end of that. I'm hoping for a summer release, so stay tuned. I am working on. I'm simultaneously working on my next Shingles, which is what one's that one? Oh, Pearls Before Swine, and that's
what's that going to be about? Just imagining.
It's
Is it going to be like the actual Bible story with Legion and all that stuff?
Wait, is that from the Bible? Pearls Before Swine?
Well, I think it's a different thing, but you know, the demon Legion goes into all the pigs and the pigs run off the cliff.
No, I actually don't know that story, and I thought I was pretty well versed in the Bible.
But, you grew up in a religious household too, huh?
Yeah.
There was a boy that was possessed by demons, and when Jesus pulled the demons out of them, they went into pigs and went off the cliff. But I think the Pearls Before Swine was a totally different
I think it's just a saying.
It was yeah.
Anyway, this one's about the daughter of a mad scientist, or not mad scientist, just a scientist who is working on. He's doing that kind of a Jonathan Swift. He made a formula that he drinks, and his body metabolizes, and then he ejaculates a semen, which will, when ingested by other people, will turn them into pigs.
It's a pearl necklace joke.
And swine.
Got it.
It's just gross.
It's gonna be a work of art, so it'll be great.
Yeah. I've had some fun with it. And what else?
I'm looking forward to Hard Boiled Dick. I think that's gonna be That's
I
gonna
hope
be
I can pull off something good with that, but that's one of those things. It's gonna have to be a side project for when I finally get my shit together and get my finances in order, and like I can take some time to do things that are probably not going to make me money.
well, you do know
Because as for for Shingles, they're not like they're not hyper successful right now, but they're making me a little bit because yeah, and because Tantor picked up the audiobooks and they their advances pay for my covers.
nice.
So, yeah.
Well,
So anything I sell is actually,
it's
bonus
yeah. Oh, yeah.
icing on the cake.
Well, having a drink with Robert Bevan has been on my bucket list for a while now. My close friends will know. But let's drink one to checking shit off my bucket list because this was kind of a victory for me. So
Here's to chicken shit off your bucket list.
chicken shit off your butter list. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to get buzzed with me. I will definitely be talking about this for many, many years to come. I will let you get back to your buzzed workday now that you're good and sloshed. I don't know if you are.
Yeah,
I am.
Well, yeah, this is only my 5th beer. I meant to have a couple before I got on, but yeah,
Adulting.
yeah.
Right.
Sorry to disappoint.
That is okay. I had a great time and thank you so much. And
Hey, thank you for having me.
good luck with your upcoming book launch with number 9. I will be in line.
All right. Well, thanks.